Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your HIMediaTV news update. I am your host, and from the AP by Steve Peoples and Meg Kennard, Nikki Haley suspends her campaign and leaves Donald Trump as the last major Republican candidate. She suspended her presidential campaign this morning, after Wednesday, the 6th of March, 2024, after being soundly defeated across the country on Super Tuesday, leaving Donald Trump as the last remaining major candidate for the 2024 Republican nomination. Haley did endorse the former president in a speech in Charleston, South Carolina, and said she challenged him to win the support of moderate Republicans and independent voters who supported her. Quote, "It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party beyond who did not support him, and I hope he does that. At best, politics is about bringing people to your cause and not turning them away, and our conservative cause badly needs more people." Haley, former South Carolinian governor and UN ambassador, Trump's first significant rival when she jumped into the race in February 2023. She spent the final phase of her campaign aggressively warning the GOP against embracing Trump, who she argued was too consumed by chaos and personal grievance to defeat President Joe Biden in the general election. So, some brief analysis. This is a good thing. Yes, President Joe Biden has had a lot of failures in regards to getting, in terms of like his own Democratic base. People are very happy, but pragmatically, at the end of the day, outside of some delusional ass leftists and people who don't, people who are too online to like fucking do things, this is basically going to lead to a second Biden term. The fact of the matter is that while the continuing genocide in Palestine and Biden's administrations, while they haven't have done full-throated support, like in regards to like both out front and behind closed doors, very much he's been fighting Netanyahu tooth and nail behind closed doors, but not a lot of people keep up with the nitty-gritty of that. Optically, Biden is suffering among his left-of-center base as a result of his decisions with Israel-Palestine. But broadly speaking, otherwise, I think Biden is going to be fine. Trump has 4 years of showed us for 4 years like what his behavior and choices were. I remember them all very distinctly, and in fact, the tax changes that are happening now are a result of his government's tax plans. So, Trump being the primary frontrunner for the Republican Party, I think, is a good thing here because the only president in American history, I think, to run for president, to be president for a term, lose, and get it again, I think was only one. Functionally, at the end of the day, there's statistically there's not a good chance for Trump to win. That doesn't mean that you listening at home doesn't go out and fucking vote. Of course, you go out and vote. You still have to vote for your local elections, of course. But I don't think outside of his far right MAGA base, I think the moderate Republicans are far less accommodating of the MAGA movement now than they were 8 years ago at this point, or even 4 years ago. And I think at the end of the day, I think if Haley had won the nomination, which was a long shot on its own, I think she would have actually been able to beat Biden, and that would have been functionally terrible. Whether or not the Republicans are able to sweep the House and the Senate, I wouldn't count on it. I don't think that the Republicans are going to necessarily lose bigly. I don't think there's going to be a blue wave, but I do think that they are going to lose enough to not have. I think they're going to lose enough to where the Democrats don't control a ironclad majority in both houses, i.e. 2/3 majority in both houses. But there certainly is, I think, going into Biden's second term, he's going to have a full House and a full Senate supporting him, which is probably going to lead to a lot of controversy and Democrats not getting anything done, because in reality, Democrats don't like fucking winning, because they have to like back up what they campaign on, and the people that own them, their owners, do not like the things that they stand for. So that's all here and there. We'll see what ends up happening. Again, we are also 7 months out, 8 months out. No, 8 months out from we're 8 months out from the presidential election. So honestly, I think things will probably start to look a little more concrete once we hit July. Before then, though, I don't think it's going to be necessarily that much of a big deal. I think I'll put in my prediction that Biden's probably going to win, and the Republicans aren't going to like completely fall apart like some people predict, and they're certainly not going to win bigly like other people predict. I think the Republicans' behavior in the House of Representatives for the last 4 years has been, people like the independents are fed the fuck up with them at this point. No amount of trans identity politics and brown people fear mongering is really going to change that at this point. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your HIMediaTV news update. I am your host. Thank you so much for listening to you. I appreciate you, your time, and your listenership. Please donate to support the show at himedia.gg/donate, and I will see you guys next time.